Welcome, everybody, to Texas Motor Speedway with the iRacing Oval Arca Pro Series. I'm Joe Wright from Intensity Broadcast, and tonight I'm joined by my brother and fellow iRacer, D. Wright, in the building. How's it going?
It's going well, Joe. Going well. Excited to be here tonight in Texas. We're under the lights. It's going to be some good action. They say everything is bigger in Texas. Let's hope that it's the green flag runs tonight and not the wrecks.
I'm going to go with loose off, little craziness. We'll see how it goes. And, man, they've had a heck of a season here in the iRacing Oval Arca Pro Series so far. Like you said, a couple of wrecks throughout the season. But Logan Hagerman, currently top of the board by 24 points, got his first win last week, right, Dave?
Yeah, he did. He's been, consistent all year long. Finally getting that first win. We see both the Merles competing for that championship as well. All three of the mazes in the running as well. And really a huge year so far by Mike Provolt running there in eighth. Him and Dylan Dunford both in position for that championship. So a lot of contenders still around.
Tyler Aspinall with a decent season so far. He finds himself as a rookie here with us in iOS, but in P12, not bad. And like you said, Dylan Dunford and Michael Provolt holding it down up there in those top 8 spots. But, some guys to watch out for who are close. Sylvan and Michael Lawrence, some close on points, Dave. There could be some guys sneaking into that picture here later in this season if they don't keep up their good runs. All right, and let's see. What else we got going on? iOS. Black Designs. Welcome aboard as the main sponsor here for the iOS Arca Pro Series. Stephen Black, check him out. Hook you up with some paint jobs there for iOS or for iRacing. Speaking of Steve,
oh, sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the race tonight we're 60 laps under the lights, so only one fastie, one extra set behind the wall because it is Arca, 65% of fuel, so really should be, like I said, if we see some green flag runs, tire wear will definitely come in. The pit strategy will be immense tonight.
Yep, and right there you got Stephen Black. He's currently top of the board with that 29.66, fastest lap on track by about 2/10 faster than the rest of the field. And we've seen that from him all season long, Dave. Pretty darn dominant most part.
Yeah, hasn't ran that many races in the Arca series. I think he's only ran maybe 3 official races here. One of them, but yeah, is dominant in a bunch of other iOS series, and obviously always a contender when he jumps in the driver's seat. So he'll definitely be racing tonight and be up front.
Another guy to watch. We've seen him all season long in all the series here on iOS is Isaiah Gill, as well as Brian Nudie, Brett Merle, and even our Intensity Broadcasting partner and iRacing team, Logan Hagerman. That's a fish, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Big, nice fish.
How about Derek Chapu having a pretty good season as well? He's got to get some better finishes here in the Pro Series. Maybe find himself further up the points. Atlee Weiss, currently P20 in his practice run so far, and that's about to end right now as we watch 2 seconds left here in the practice session. They're going to go into qualifying.
Yeah, and as we finish up practice, like you said, most of the original guys are up there at the top, running fast laps. So Isaiah Gill, uh, Stephen Black.
Chapu finds himself in 9th in points with a win, so he's locked in. Kyle May's locked in 10th. So we have, in the top 16, we have 5 drivers that are locked into the playoffs. Isaiah Gill, the only 2-time winner. First guys on track got Dylan Redding with his 19 head.
Yeah, we'll see what the eggplant can get out there and lay down as far as time.
Pelican Snowballs his sponsor. And he's on his first go lap. See what he's got for him. Not quite far down as he needs to get a little loose off there, Dave. Or his tires squealing.
Atman and Brian Merle both dropping laps, about 30.4, 30.3 to start. So we'll see if they can improve on their second times around.
Going to the top of the board with a 30.47. Check in with Atman, the Juan's Caffeine and Cantina machine, as he comes to the line for his second timed lap. He's going to improve, but only to a 30-30. Junior beats him by a little bit. Tyler Aspinall on his first lap is going to slide into P2 now. Dylan Redding currently top of the board with a 29.93. Brandon Richardson not having a bad season, finds himself P5 in the standings. He's going to qualify P3 currently. Dylan Dunford, P7 in the standings. He's the 94 machine. He's got to get a McDonald's paint job in that 94, Dave.
That would be interesting. Throwback to the old Awesome Bill from Dawsonville.
I like Dylan's line through 3 and 4. I don't know if he was back to the throttle quick enough. We'll see. He crosses the line P4. Dylan Redding still holding down that top spot. Ryan Nudie coming up short, too. Check in with Derek Chapu from Pembroke, Ohio, or Ontario. I almost called him Ohio. Ontario.
Stephen Black and Todd Mays also out, laying down some qualifying laps as we speak.
Yep, Stephen Black to the top of the board. That's it for him. See what Chapu can do here on his first time lap. I don't know what's going on with his timing, but he's not registering any laps. Maybe he has a black flag. Brett Merle, the 11 machine.
I think he got sick of you making fun of his paint scheme. Looks like he switched it out.
I like it now. Cool looking. Little throwback to Casey Kane days type paint job. 11 Machine crosses the line. He's going to go P11 on his first lap. Todd Mays sneaks up into that top two. He looks like he's done, though. See what Merle can do on his second lap.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Isaiah and Logan really the only ones, based on practice times, that will be able to give Steven a run for his money on the pole position. So we'll see what happens here as we get through about halfway through qualifying right now. So you'll see some of those guys start to head out after the 5 minute mark.
Yep, Brett Merle jumped up to P6. Decent lap. 30.03. That's your current standings. As Hagerman goes for his second lap here. Todd Mays with a blazing lap, though, Dave. Hagerman's going to go P3. A little bit slower than Todd.
Yeah, we had Gil getting into the wall on his first out lap, so it looks like he's going to reset it and start again.
Pay attention here. Sylvan getting up the back of the field with a 30.85 P20. Like he slapped the wall a little bit there again. They go line for his first time lap. Go P7. Maybe it for him.
Yeah, I think he burned one on the first time out when he hit the wall there.
Think that about does it if Kyle Mays doesn't turn a lap.
Yeah, we got about 2.5 minutes left in the qualifying session, so see if anybody else trickles out onto the track here.
Texas is one of those tracks I wouldn't mind going and checking out once, Dave. I've heard the racing's pretty good there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always like racing here and iRacing. I like a lot of the quad ovals, to be honest with you. So, looks like it's a cool atmosphere under the lights as well.
I feel like it'd be a lot similar racing as they get in Charlotte, just down the road here from me. But and the Charlotte race, the All Star race, it's 100. That stuff's just too long. I feel like.
Yeah, there's definitely a sweet spot for that.
You know what's crazy, Dave? Brian Newty got his top speed of 190. Guys that led the fastest lap at 187.
Yeah. Um, Looks like he's overdriving the corner, maybe a little too much.
We back up your corners a little bit there, Nudie. Nudie. All right, let's fire up the chat. Let's see if anybody's chatting with us. All right, we got it fired up. If you're paying attention to the race, let us know who you're rooting for, who you're calling for, who you're shaming. We'll call all it out on the broadcast for you. All right, starting in P1. You know him. We know him. He's on track. In that 98 machine, Stephen Black. Starting outside of him is going to be the 25 machine of Todd Mays. Inside the second row is going to be Logan Hagerman and his Big Fish. And outside of him, Dylan Redding.
In the third row, the number 40 machine of Brian Newty. Outside, the one and only Tyler Aspinall. Fourth row, we'll see IG going off outside of Brett Merle.
Zachary Cox going to roll off P9 with Dylan Dunford in the 94 machine on his outside. Tony Richardson trying to keep himself up and relevant in the playoffs. It's going to roll off P11. Bobby Mays going to roll off P12.
The one and only Nick Mather out of the infield care center from the Pelicans on Thursday night. Hope he got my flowers and everything is good. He'll be going off in the 13th spot. Outside Brandon Richardson in the 14th. Cheeseburger going off 15th. And Michael Provo, who we mentioned earlier, having an excellent season here in the Arca Series, going off in the 16th position.
Brian Merle Jr. is going to roll off P17 while Brandon White 18th. The Juan's Mexican Cafe and Cantina number 78 of Atlee Atman Wees. Dave, did you watch his race this past weekend in real life?
I did, and I'll tell you what, if he can whip this Impala SS around Texas the way he was the Bandolero, we may see a top 10 finish here for the Atman. So he looked good in practice, was running fast. We'll see what he can do.
Mark Shaver's going to roll off P20, and I'll finish it out here for us. Kyle May's going to roll off P21, and Derek Chaput P22 as he rolls backwards. Can't find clutch. And they're rolling. Stephen Black will take us to the green flag. First start will be on the flag. Every subsequent restart will be on the leader.
What's our over-under on first cautions? Joe, you know we like to run that on the first pace lap. What are we working with here?
Lap 1 guaranteed.
Ooh. I am a less pessimistic than you are, so I will go way over on that. I think we get to at least 9 or 10.
Are you wagering?
Yeah. And I'm going to see you in a week, so you better make with the dough.
1 beer. There it is. Stephen Black. Todd Mays. The pedal goes to the floor. We're green. Stephen Black not getting the start he wanted. Todd Mays actually able to time that pretty well. Sylvan Seguin's going to start from the pits. 3 wide in the third row there. See Dylan Redding dropping like a rock through the middle.
Steven out in the clean air looking to 5, 6, 7 car length lead now as we lead around the first lap. And it definitely looks like I'm getting a beer, so that's nice.
They have succeeded with un lap.
Oh,
Yellow flag is out.
it's enough to get me the beer and bring it out. I think that's Junior and Shavers get into it a little bit here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Got Mark Shavers. Junior pushed up the track a little bit. Junior actually lost control of the car there, Dave.
Yeah.
Like right in front of Shavers. It looks like he starts to push up the track a little bit and was trying to stay off a Pro Vault here. And just loses it a bit. Get back to the throttle mid-corner and just turns it around.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. A little heavy on the throttle foot. You could see the backfire coming out, so he's definitely decelerating, slowing down, and then when he's getting back on that throttle, just turned it. Tires are still cold, so.
Not those guys won't have to use their resets for that one. They should be able to get those things fixed up. It wasn't too hard of a hit. Shavers looks like he's in better shape than Junior. Junior's got a lot of right rear damage.
Yeah, I mean, I take the whole time here. Even if you go a lap down, there's going to be plenty of other cautions. Pretty lengthy race with 60 laps. We're only 3 in right now.
We have
so.
some other pit takers as well. Michael Provault, Todd Mays. Sorry, Kyle Mays. All hitting pit road, trying to get some fuel. Maybe a little long game strategy here for some green flag runs.
Yeah, definitely a strategy play. No one else really involved but those 2 cars there, so.
Did see some pretty wild 3 wide on that first lap, though.
Yeah, and it's interesting you've seen from Dylan and also from Junior there. The middle line, at least in 1 and 2, looks to be.
A little sickery.
Yeah, and a fast track back to the back, so. Got to pick the line and stick with it.
The Junior, he's still sitting on pit road right now. 70 seconds he's been there. Watch him at bye. Off before they do. And there on the left. Field is now approaching the end of pit road and he is rolling. Field is crossing the line now as he is already off the end of pit road. Right rear looking pretty good. Lights on the pace car are on, so he needed to hit pit road. He could hit it a little bit here again.
Yep, and they did give him the EOL, so no worries on backing up the field. He's going to have to do that anyway.
Looks like he must have got his time complete. It looks pretty good, so I'd imagine he's going to just hang out here at the back of the field as EOL and not hit pit road. Logan Hagerman finds himself up to P2. Duty up to P4. Gill all the way up to P5 from 7. Todd Mays losing 1 spot. Dylan Redding losing 2 at the front. Your big loser at the back right now, Brian Merle, obviously, but also Michael Provault down 3 positions to start the race. Capu moves himself up 4. Atlee Atman Wee's finding 2 positions as well as Brandon White. And for just having a little Jump out. Like Chapu hit pit road there, Dave, to top off, maybe.
Yeah, and really nothing to lose in the back of the field right now. Like we said, there'll be more cautions. So if those guys want to top off, um, really looking for longer runs and a fuel mileage race, which may come into play. We've seen that in iOS. We've seen that in Arca Touch 2. Once these guys get settled in, we can see some extended green flag runs.
Maria Madsen says, "Hey, Brett and Brian, miss ya." Shout out to her for watching. Thanks for tuning in again this week, Maria. Maria, Maria. Did I sing to her? All right. Coming out of 4, Stephen Black, Logan Hagerman on the outside. It is now on the leader here. He doesn't have to wait for the green. Steven's going. Logan with him. Not quite. Todd May's going to find his way underneath Logan here. Does see a race there for that P3 between Gill. Oh, Gill's going to peek underneath Todd Mays down the backstretch. Little aggressive from... Oh, Lord. That's close. Now, Hagerman is 3 wide again.
And they're holding it.
Oh, Logan down into the door of Dylan Redding.
That's a bruised eggplant.
Logan really sliding back now. He's kind of stuck on that outside line.
Yeah, it should be a good run off the backstretch here, so.
Todd Mays up high. Looks like he's stuck now. Logan finds a way under him. Duty's probably going to follow him right on by. Steven Black, meanwhile, is checked out, Dave. He's already up to a 1.4 second lead over the field. While those guys are back there racing for everything they got.
Yeah, exactly. You said it. You know, some of this double wide, triple wide, and even in the dirty air when you're behind a car, these on the quad ovals definitely react a lot different. You see Steven, the benefits of being out there in clean air, and he is off. So.
Ooh, real close racing between Brett Merle and Dylan Dunford there. You see Brett squeeze up on the outside of Tyler Aspinall now. Three wide. Ooh wee. That was close. 4 wide almost.
You see Tyler much more comfortable on that higher line, fighting to get back up there too, get back where he was at.
We're watching Brett Merle here as he comes through the quad oval, looking pretty stout. I think he's trying to find a way by these guys as he looks underneath Zach. Zach pushes up just enough to let him by. He's gonna get a little slide job, maybe not quite clear, and Aspinall's gonna push Zach. Ooh. Aspinall underneath Cox. That was a scary move, but they made it work. These guys are putting it all out there.
Yeah, racing hard early here in the middle of the pack. So as we see Dunford doing a little bit of a lawn job, didn't like the landscaping that was done by the Texas Motor Speedway crew. Missed the spot, had to clean that up. So on with the race.
The Cheeseburger right behind Brandon White and Nick Mather. Brandon White underneath Mather for that position. Gonna slide up in to that 14th spot. Brandon White finds himself up 4 positions since the beginning of the race. Uh-oh, Logan Hagerman coming back on him, Dave.
Yeah, we seen Isaiah running that low line early and passing quite a few cars doing that.
Looking
Isaiah
underneath him.
Yeah, Isaiah known to run them off, as I was saying, so that may be what's happened here. We'll see. This will be a good run here, and good battle for second spot.
Eggplant is stalking behind him, too. A little crossover by Gill. He's going to have enough to get under him. Yeah, he does. Great racing between these two for that second spot. Logan really keeping it wound up on that outside. Ooh, little wiggle. Gonna cost him down the front stretch here. Looking back underneath, Logan's going for it. Catches the apron there, though, Dave.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Steven wants. You can't even see him in the frame there in that shot. So he is off in running on a merely 3-second lead right now. So, yeah, I mean, he's loving what he's seeing in his rear view right now. The more green flag laps, the better for him. We'll see what happens here as we move through the race, but really not what you want to see if you're the rest of the field when you see that 98 way out in a 3-second lead and some tight racing behind it.
Yeah, I mean, he's running 3/10 faster than the entire field by himself.
Yeah, and like I said, part of that is the extraterrestrial, part of that is the clean air, more of the ET than the clean air, but it's definitely an advantage.
Logan Hagerman now under attack from the... Who's that? That's the 99. Whole eggplant came in.
Yeah, like we said, a little bruise on the side, but hasn't affected him. Still on a run. We see him running the low line as Isaiah was earlier too. We'll see how that does on tire wear as we move through this run as well. And Brian is lurking in the back there too. So
Brian's
pretty good
really,
battle between these 4 cars.
Brian's really good at letting these guys battle it out and finding a way by late in the run. Just a smarter driver, keeping those tires calm and not beating them up. Even Black, 3.45 seconds. But kind of losing, well, not really. Still gaining about a tenth a lap. Definitely not as fast as he was the last couple of laps.
Yeah, we're about a third of the way in there. How about it's a pretty good green flag run there. How about we pump up that intensity, Joe, while we got a good green flag run?
All about that life.
And I jinxed it. Looks like Aspinall and Dumford get into each other in 3 and 4, or 1 and 2 rather, excuse me, and brings out our second caution of the day, lap 21.
You sure did jinx the crap out of that. All right, let's see what happened with Dunford here. Ooh, Tyler just... Wow, what a job by Dunford to keep it off the wall, Dave.
Yeah, shouldn't be much damage. Most of the damage is going to be to, his track position, obviously. So,
See what happened before that. If almost like happened prior to that.
now listening to the radio, nothing. Tyler immediately comes over with apologies. So,
I don't think they're pretty spread out. So
yeah, it's like Tyler just got a good mid-corner run on him, and didn't expect Dylan to check up. So it can happen sometimes. We talked about these on the super speedways earlier in the season with the Arca cars. You don't have to touch barely at all here, Joe, and it's going to get them loose. As you said, excellent job by Dumford of keeping it off the wall, keeping that car clean. I'm sure he'll pit and get some gas here, maybe top it off.
All right.
Potentially a tire decision here, too.
Well, some guys did hit pit road. Logan Hagerman, Dylan Redding, Brian Nudie, Tyler Aspinall, Brett Merle, Zachary Cox, and Dylan Dunford all hitting pit road. The guys who stayed out, Stephen Black, Isaiah Gill, Todd Mays, Bobby Mays, Michael Lawrence, Nick Mather, Atlee, Atman Weiss, and Derek Chaput. So the top 8 stay out. The new top 8, I should say, stay out.
Hey, the top 8 minus Logerman.
Well, I mean, Nudie, a lot of guys went in, but right now, as they stand, the top 8 did not hit pit road. Everybody else behind them did. Looks like Nudie may have just taken gas. Let's look at their pit stop times. Meantime, let's see. It is. So Nudie definitely just getting gas. Merle just getting gas.
Hagerman and Redding.
Redding looks like he took. I think Redding and Aspinall both taking tires. Richardson, White, and Dunford as well. That's would be my guess on those.
We got to remember Logan and Dylan did get into each other, so there could have been a little bit of extra damage there on top of the gas. But 3 seconds, who knows? That looks like more of a tire stop. It's usually about 10 seconds for a 4-tire change.
Definitely be watching Logan on back to see what he got. Rhea says she can't watch them live from Montana, so this is what a mom has to do. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that Maria is saying that she is Brett and Brian's mother, which is awesome. Welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, and we are live. Just, we don't give delivery them in real life, but they're here. Boys are running well, doing well on the season so far, as we talked about it at the beginning, too, in the top 5. So good to have the family along.
Junior's back up to P15 since that early incident. Brett Merle finds himself P10. And the lights on the pace car are off.
Yeah, when we go green here, we'll be about 5 laps shy of the midway point. So, as you said, there's most of the field hitting heat.
Dave, are you there?
Yes, sir.
I had a little glitch there, but we're good. Green flag racing's about to start. Stephen Black is going to lead him back to the green flag here.
If you need help with the internet bill, bro, let me know, man.
Nah, it's just weather. 98 of Stephen Black gets a good jump on Gill. Todd May is not going to be able to get underneath Gill, I don't think, here.
Another good jump by Steven. He is out and running again. And the race is between 3rd and 4th with the Mays boys there. And we see some 3 right wide in the back.
There goes Logan around the high side. And Dave, I think based on that move right there alone, he may have taken some tires.
Yeah, we'll see if the 99 is on rails with him. Like we said, very similar lap times. We'll see if both of them are cooking, as we say.
Oh, yeah. Real close to getting into Nudie's left rear there. And there goes Dylan underneath of him. These two finding each other all night so far. I don't know, Dave. It's hard to tell. I think Dylan definitely did. Just based on that speed through the middle of the corner there, Dave. He's going to drive right up underneath Cheeseburger here, too.
They both did, I'm pretty sure. So both of them have pretty good middle drive off the corner and then coming off as well. Nudie, as we were talking about, had saved tires pretty well, too. We don't think he took tires there, and it looks like the way they were getting around him didn't take much more than a lap. So I'm pretty sure those are safe assumptions.
We look at Dylan now looking underneath Brett Merle. Dave, Isaiah Gill not really letting Steven get away this time. He's holding him to only a 2/10 gap there.
Yeah, getting a second chance at Steven, so we'll see if he can keep him within range. We still see quite a few car lengths there, so I don't know how much of a race it is, but it definitely keeping him honest. We see Dylan and Logan, it looks like, reaching up to those Maze boys now, or at least Dylan is, so those guys are on a rail.
I mean, I don't know that Logan took him. Maybe he did. He just hasn't found the sweet spot yet. But, man, Dylan Redding on a rail right now as he's running down Bobby Mays.
Yeah, and it could be, Logan understands, too, it's less than halfway, so even if he did, he has to conserve more than he did in the first run, obviously, so that is a factor.
Dylan just cleared Bobby. He looks toward the front. It might have been the smart move too, Dave, with only 2 sets of tires. 65% fuel. He knows they're going to go in eventually, get tires, and he'll be able to go in and get some. He's closing that gap. He's in a much better position right now than he would have been during a green flag run. Not a bad move by Dylan Redding.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's using up his only set, so that is an issue. But if he has enough to make it on the green flag run, I think that's the play, obviously, right? So
For only 1 extra set?
only 1 extra set. We're in the Arca Series, so he only had 1 behind the wall. So if he used it, it's gone. It'll burn. But again, he's probably on the other end and thinking it's going to go green. And as I say that, caution is out.
Yep.
Ant-Man calling out his bad on that one.
Man, Junior just getting caught up there. I don't know if I don't know
I
if
think Ant-Man was moving down to pit there and didn't have it called out on the radio. So, and the car didn't get down, in time for him as well. So, these Arca cars tend to, when you hit the brake, push up and to the right. So, looks like that's what happened to Ant-Man. He was getting on it hard trying to get down into the pit lane. Didn't think he had to call it out because he had plenty of space between the car behind him. Think he would merge right down onto the apron, and the brakes pushed him up.
And Junior getting caught up in somebody else's, well, in somebody's stuff now. Earlier was his own, but see that change in speed here. This is from Onboard Junior. That's a definite reset moment.
Yeah. And roll that back. There's a couple other cars there involved, Joe, that took some pretty heavy damage. I think I seen Kyle Mays in that. There might be a couple other ones I missed there, but I thought I seen the 55. Shavers, Zach Cox. Roll that back even more, Joe.
Richardson. I'm gonna go to far
Zach
chase.
was a
See
hell
if
of
we
a
can
ride.
see in front of him. Wow, what a move there by Zach. I mean, I don't know it on the gas, maybe. Kyle Mays having some issues as the 18 not
See if
able
we
to
can get
get
his
checked up.
card, Joe. Whew.
Brandon White getting a bad shot at there too. Ooh, Provault was able to get through that. Not the same luck for Brandon White. Well, taking a ride through the grass, but I don't think he hits anybody, dude.
No.
One, two wrecks right in front of him. A bumpy ride.
But he handled it. I mean, hell of a ride.
All right, we had some people take some pit stops there, Dave, while we were talking about the wrecks. Leaders, Stephen Black, Isaiah Gill hitting pit road. Nick Mather also hitting pit road. Looks like Nick only took fuel there. Finds himself up to P8. Black, Gill, Mays, and Mays. Well as Brian Nudie. Taking tires.
Yeah, and those will be the ones to watch, obviously, see if they can navigate the gauntlet of the field on their way back up to the front. And, I'm sure Dylan's hoping that they get caught up in something, or we get a couple of yellows and restarts to keep him out front there. Him and Logan, as we talked about, we believe took tires earlier, so kind of made their bed. We'll see how this plays here.
Junior, Atman, and Sylvan all finding themselves laps down.
Yeah, Atman got the EOL there. Junior entered a close pit, got an EOL. Even though they cleared that, it's still going to keep you at the back. It serves them anyway. So we will see on. I believe there will be another caution, obviously. So we'll see who gets that lucky dog. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of a race in the back for that as well. So a couple different things we'll have our eyes on here, Joe, as we get ready to go green.
Race restart will be on Dylan Redding this time. Brett Merle to the outside of him. Don't count out that Logan Hagerman. He may have taken tires there, Dave, and just held on to him.
Yeah, I believe that's definitely the case, right? So we'll see how that plays out. You got to think he's got a little bit more rubber on there than the eggplant. So
Dylan to a decent jump, but Logan to the inside of Brett Merle. Richardson falling like a rock on that outside line behind Brett. Logan, no drive off.
Caution, Joe.
Other caution. Michael Lawrence.
I think that's the '09 or the '19 of Brandon White and Cheesy B. So yeah.
Tough break for Cheesy B.
Yeah, I think he might have got loose there first, Joe. Looks like he got up into that Brian Merle line we were talking about earlier, about midway up through 1 and 2, and really just couldn't maintain it. Tries, slips and tries to come down. I believe that's what's going on here. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just changing. Yep, definitely loose. And just a little help from Brandon White. Definitely not Brandon White's fault, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, no, I think EOL going to Cheeseburger, and he's claiming it anyway. So, I mean, he's in the back either way. So EOL is no damage, but a ladder point. So we will see. His race by no means is over, and I don't think it'll be the last caution we'll see here either. So delays the run. We'll see from those guys that pitted and got some tires, Black and Gill in the middle. Not much time to gain some spots there on that respawn, on that restart rather.
And there you go. See, Brian Merle Jr. is going to get his lap back with the lucky dog from that wreck.
Did not take long, Joe.
Not.
About a half a corner. That 7-Up scheme is really, really slick. I'm sure Grandma Hagerman is loving that.
So explain to me the 7-Up thing now.
Well, that's his car number 7, right? So
Yeah.
not much to explain. I know you're a little bit of a simpleton, but that's the
What's Keurig Dr. Pepper, though?
uh, I don't know, man. I don't know that I would trust a Dr. Pepper out of a Keurig machine.
That's some Timmy Hortons type shit.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, man. That's some Canadian stuff. They were talking about that the other night in the Discord. Those neighbors to the north call a lot of things different than what we have. They have like pink cream soda and a bunch of other things that are really, really wild.
7-Up symbol is totally not the symbol we have for 7. Not the one
Yeah.
on his hood, anyway.
Beaver tails, which has a completely different meaning in the U.S.
We have a Pelican Snowballs right down the road, Dave. And I took the youngest daughter there the other day. It was actually pretty good. They have like hundreds of flavors, and the weirdest one I saw was pickle flavored cone.
Did you select that one?
Never, not a chance.
Is it dill or sweet? Because them sweet gherkins, bro, to die for. I might get a slushy of a sweet gherkin.
Pretty positive it was dill, but I'd have to maybe a sample it next time.
Yeah, it could be a fad, like, they had those dill pizza fads for a while. where everybody would order a pickle pizza. Um, I got nothing against pickles, to be honest with you. I'm all right with them.
I just
They
think
don't bother me.
I just think cucumbers taste better pickled.
Yeah.
All right, base lights are off. We're into turn 3. Dylan Redding is going to take him back green one more time. Brett Merle's going to try to stay with him, but Logan Hagerman looking inside on that last restart. Gonna have another shot at it here. Aspinall behind him. Watch out for those guys. Isaiah Gill and Stephen Black. Where did Stephen Black go? What happened to Stephen Black, Dave?
I think he's just chilling like a villain.
No, no, no. He went back to 17th.
Yeah, it could have been gas. Maybe they didn't have enough to get there.
Yeah,
We'll see.
he hit pit road and got gas, I think. Anyways, Dylan Redding out to a sizable lead already. Hagerman clearing inside easily. As Dunford now looking underneath Brett Merle as well.
Aspinall, then we pull back to Nick Matherer, Richardson, Nudie making a move under Richardson as well. First spot.
They really watch Gill and Nudie here. Those are the guys to watch. As Stephen Black's making his way through the field as well. He's not far behind them already, Dave. And he has the better fuel run. Aspinall way inside of Brett. Gill right behind him. They're going to touch each other through turns 3 and 4.
It's some hard racing. I don't know if Brett got some damage from that or not, but he fell off pretty well after that contact there.
I just think he doesn't have the tires right now, Dave. He hasn't had tires yet, I don't think. I think he only went in for fuel. Maybe he's leaving that set for later. 14 laps to go, though. Will we get another caution? If so, those will be the guys that you're going to watch for at the end of this thing. Oh, there's your caution.
You've seen those two get into it earlier as well.
Oh, no caution. As he kept it straight. Wow. Dylan Redding still out front. Isaiah Gill and Brian Nudie chasing, though.
Another one through the one up in the quad oval. I think that's Brandon White doing a little bit of work there. The front
Go back and look at him real quick, since we're still green right now. Yep, he lost it off of 4. Wow, and he held on to it. Wild. Tyler Aspinall on pit lane. Must have had to go get that thing reset, Dave.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna have to. Took a lot of damage there.
Gill and Nudie not really closing. I mean, they're closing on Dylan Dunford, but not really. Okay, here they come. They closed that gap pretty fast. I was about to say it. Are some guys hitting pit road? We got a Mays brother on pit road now, too. Kyle Mays is in. Maybe a fuel strategy here.
Yeah, we see Steven cracking the top 10 as well, up to 10th position. So, Dylan maintaining that lead by quite a few car lengths right now. We see the 3 racing behind him is something he loves to see in his rearview mirror. Keeps him out in that clean air while they're battling up the tires. And some more damage in the back. It looks like we may have a yellow here.
Caution is out.
Cheeseburger and Brett, I believe, got into it there.
Oh, it's like 3 wide. Yep, Cheeseburger.
4 wide.
Oh my lord. Let's roll that one back. A lot to digest there. Little wiggle out of Richardson in front of them.
The whole tip of Northern California is involved in this corner.
See Cheeseburger coming down. You see Richardson checking up. Everybody's checking up. Brett Merle slides up just a little at the same time. Little neck code there from Brandon White, maybe. Brandon White's gonna clear.
Let's go right through Junior's in car from that.
Right.
Looks like he'll have a pretty good one. Let's go in that cockpit. See what he sees of Bro. Whew.
Look at this, Dave. From P5, Logan Hagerman's gonna hit pit road.
Yeah, we'll see if that's a fuel play or if he did have that extra set still and was just banging on some damage for the 10-second stop earlier. See what how long this stop goes for.
Yep, tires it is, David.
Here's it is.
Gonna have his work cut out for him, though.
We may have some things going on here, Joe. Why don't we roll back to the 45? I think we got a DQ for a intentional wrecking under caution. Get some chatter on the mic here. Can we take a look at that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
there it is.
channeling his bustin' bean here, it looks like. Oh.
Yeah, that is what we call a DQable offense.
Yeah, and
Will not be tolerated.
No, not at all. I don't want to get this conflated with bumping a pace car because NASCAR tries to fatalitize you at New Hampshire, right? Those are totally different things here, right? One has a place in the sport and one doesn't.
Earl able to get into pit road, get that thing fixed. He'll be starting 2 spots there back from Nick Mather. They're all going around Atman Weiss, who's a lap down. He got a little bit of contact in that last caution. That's why he did not get the wave around. Could another caution come out? He will get the lucky dog, though, Dave. If he stays in that position.
Yeah, and they're giving the EOL there on that 4-wide right to the 47. It's the second of the night. So they are going to ask GZB to park it. Tough decision, obviously, for race control. I think it's probably the right one, though. He definitely comes down a little bit. So we've talked about this before on the broadcast, Joe, about how tough that position is in race control. We have only one tonight, obviously, doing it. So we commend them for the decisions that they have to make. And it's obviously a tough one. But when you look back at the replays, I think it's pretty clear the 47 comes down a bit there, trying to collect the loose in his line and causes that wreck.
Yep. We agree. All right. Isaiah Gill, Brian Nudie. They're chasing Dylan Dunford and your leader, Dylan Redding. Watch out for that Stephen Black. He's got a little blinking issue going on too, Dave.
Yeah, maybe he's under a DDoS. You know, we do know he is in the military. There's been some DDoS attacks,
I
so
think this is a 3 wide start for Shapu here. Oh, he's just trying to get it, just trying to get in front of Shavers. Logan Hagerman's going to be coming through the field, Dave. Fresh tires. Saw him aggressive early, even with old tires. So,
yeah, we see the 7 up back there. So he's
Grandma, if you're
de-
watching, we're going to keep him locked in for you.
yeah, he's definitely gonna have some chances here with 6 to go. I don't think it's the last caution we've seen either. We got a bunch of different strategies on tires. Guys are gonna be off on pace, braking strategies and corners. We're gonna see some excitement here.
6 laps to go. Not much time if you're Logan Hagerman. It's going to be a sense of urgency for him. They delayed they delayed the restart here. We're about to go back. There was some issues, I think, at the back of the field where people were positioned.
Yeah, and for some of those guys like Logerman, this is going to be a tough decision here to extend that. Gives him less of a chance on that tire strategy to get back up front.
All right. 99 and 94 are going to take us back to the green finally after this one. Sylvan Seguin kind of hanging off the back there in that Haley Deegan car.
Yeah, I think what they happened with extending that is we know the 45 got DQ'd there. It looks like there was an accidental DQ on the 29. So they extended the caution trying to clear that. That is an unclearable thing in iRacing. So very, very unfortunate for the 29. See how that plays out after the race, but looks like we're going to re-rack them, restack them, and we'll get them running here with 5 to go.
Green flag's out. There was a kind of a little checkup at the front there. I don't know what happened, but Dunford didn't get going. That's going to cost Nudie a little bit of time. Gill's going to get clear, though. Stephen Black to the outside of Bobby Mays.
Yeah, if we stay green here, Joe, this is going to look like it is wound up for a really, really exciting finish. We'll see what happens in the next 4 laps. 3 laps make that now. But this is gonna looks like it's playing out to be
Gill
pretty exciting.
underneath for the lead. I think Logan Hagerman's gonna need. Here comes Stephen Black now inside of Brian Nudie. I think Logan Hagerman has this in the bag if they get a caution here with about 2 laps to go. As he's all the way up to P13. They're wrecking. They're right in front of him, Dave. Caution's gonna come out. Caution's out.
Yeah,
Oh, and the 18 and Atlee. Oh, big wreck.
unfortunate for the 7 up machine. We'll have a green white checker here. It's gonna set up for a pretty wild finish, Joe. We've seen the 98 going up there. It's really probably gonna be a battle between the 98 and the 2 to finish this off here. But like we said, unfortunate for Logerman here as Brett just kind of loses it going through the quad oval, it looks like.
Actually, Shavers.
Shavers, excuse me, and it looks like Brandon White got into him coming out of 4.
Yeah, it looks
Not in
like
the
that might
quad
have been
oval.
Brandon White's problem there.
Yeah.
That's gonna end Hagerman's day, I think, too. He used his reset. I don't know if he did or not. Got some heavy right front damage. And just like that, he's got his reset.
Yeah, he's back in the action. We know he's on freshies, right? Well, semi-freshies anyway. Um, so there's about 17 cars on the lap, 16 cars on the lap here, lead lap, Joe. So not too far back for him to start here. Really probably needs another caution, another green white checker to have a chance at it if he can get a chunk through. We'll see.
Steven Black's going to start third car back on the inside line. He's going to have a pretty good advantage here. Unless Isaiah Gill jumps to the outside. If Isaiah Gill takes that outside line, that's going to pin Steven a little bit. Because Nudie and Mays will be able to get going before Steven does. It might give him a little chance to keep this thing spread out just long enough. See what Gill does here was they cross the line with one to go. Will he pick the outside line?
You were correct on the UL there, Joe. UL to the 019.
Get Brian Merle coming back. He's up to P12. Right behind his brother, Brett now. They're together 11 and 12. Mark Shavers, after being in that incident, still finds himself in 13. All with a chance at a top 10. Chaput, up 14 positions from the beginning of the race, finds himself in that top 10 again. Mr. Consistency finding his place there at the end of these races, Dave.
Yeah, very, very good run. Well, like I said, we're going to find out how the rest of the race finishes here with 3 to go. Isaiah looked like he's going to take the top for the restart. So that is going to put Steven in potentially a pickle. But it'll be a very interesting restart here, and I think it'll be a really, really exciting finish.
I think it's a smart move by Gill, as long as he can get clear of Dylan. That's going to put Dunford between Nudie, Gill, or I'm sorry, Nudie and Black. At least, maybe even 2 more cars between Black and Nudie. And then so Black's going to have to get by Nudie and then by Isaiah, so.
Yeah, and let's not, I know we haven't talked much about that Ranger Boats Impala, but let's not leave Bobby out of the question. Very
Got older
good
tires, though, D.
car. Yeah, he is, but we've seen some of these end of these races, these guys get into each other and racing a little bit hard, so some of those guys sitting in the catbird seats back there can potentially come away with some success.
All right, here we go. Green-white checker, attempt number 1. Dylan Redding's going to start on the inside of the leader, Isaiah Gill. Isaiah picking the outside to try and trap that 98 machine where it's at. See what they do here. And Gill with a great start. He's going to get clear right away. That's going to pull Nudie down in front of him, though. I don't know that that's what Gill was thinking. That puts 3 cars between him and Steven Black, which is the guy they were worried about with his speed on new tires. Dunford now to the inside of Redding.
Yeah, the Dillon's battling for third. And it looks like we're going to get to that white clean. It's going to be IG's race to lose, so let's see if Mr. Canuti has anything for him here.
Can Brian Nudie catch him? That's the question. Closes the gap a little bit through turns 1 and 2. I don't know if he's got anything for him, Dave. Ox into the inside wall in the backstretch. Nudie's going to have to sling this thing. And he does everything he can. It's a wiggle waggle off the corner. But your winner, gonna be the 2. Dylan Redding holds him off for 3rd. Stephen Black finding himself in 4th there at the line. What a finish there. Go back and just roll it back for Stephen Black, and then even able to come away with a 4th.
Yeah, 3rd, 4th, and 5th was an excellent race to the line there.
Bobby Mays sliding to 7th. Todd Mays coming away 6th. Dylan Dunford 5th. And 8th. Logan Hagerman made it up to 10th, Dave. He came away with a 10th place finish after all that. Not bad.
Yeah, definitely respectable. We'll get some top 10 points for that. Should maintain his lead at the top of the points as well. So, again, another consistent run.
Watch Isaiah Gill burn it down. Go ahead and see if we can pull in our 3rd place finisher, Dylan Redding. It's the waiting room. Second to park it. Hey Dylan, it's Joe and Dave in the booth. You got us?
I got you.
Man, what a night. Led a lot of laps on some strategy, but find yourself getting beat by those guys on fresher tires, but still coming away 3rd. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I was on the wrong tire strategy. I knew it was a risk, but I had committed there on lap 20 to do the opposite of Steven. He was faster, and so I just wanted to be on an alternate strategy. Um, and when the caution started coming towards the end, I knew it was going to be tough to hold off those guys. But I'll take 3rd. It was a good run. Texas is a good track for me, so I'm happy with it.
Excellent, Dylan. Yeah, you said on the wrong side of the strategy, but like, can't really complain with a 3rd place run, obviously. So really, and you obviously beat Steven. So when you look at that strategy, it looks like a right side. I want to more ask about the last lap, obviously, and racing with Steven and Dumford. Walk us through that. What were you thinking coming through, taking the white flag and getting into the booth to talk to the Wright brothers?
Yeah, in a way, Steven kind of decided that battle between me and Dylan because he was behind me, and even though I was on the high side, I got a little bit of a draft help from him, and I was really crowding Dylan in turns 1 and 2 on the last lap, and he had to, I think, check up to stop from drifting up the track, and I wouldn't have been that aggressive earlier in the race, but last lap I just took the real estate I could and was able to barely hold on for that 3rd place.
Yeah, like Dave said, I don't think the strategy was necessarily a bad one. It got you probably better than you would had you stayed with the same strategy they were on. So, congratulations. Came away with that P3. Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, as always, I'll thank Pelican Snowballs. They're my partner in crime, so to speak, and everybody involved with iRacing Oval Series. A lot of work goes into this, and it's a lot of fun to come out on Monday nights and race, and I appreciate them putting on the show.
Dylan, before we let you go, Joe brought up that he was stopped at the Pelicans in Virginia. Have you had the pickle flavored snow cone? And if you had, is it dill or is it sweet like the gherkins?
um, I'm trying to think if I've tried that. I actually don't think I have. I've had so many flavors, but understandably, I've avoided that one.
All right, Dylan. Well, have a good night, and we'll check you later.
Thanks.
Duty, you got Joe and Dave in the booth. You got us.
I got you, buddy.
Man, what a run. You came to the line there, came away 2nd. You were chasing Isaiah. I seen you threw it in there in 3 and 4. It was just a little wiggle that probably stopped you from getting to him. But I'll tell you what a good run tonight, keeping Stephen Black pinned back. Good decision by Gil.
Yeah, definitely a good decision by him, and definitely helped me out because if he would have went to the bottom, I probably would have not even wound up in the top three. I don't know. I don't know if I had anything for Dylan or Denford, but yeah, good run.
Yeah, Brian, really nothing special tonight, even in practice qualifying, but was lurking all night. We didn't talk about you much on the broadcast, but the 40 was up there in the top five most of the night and come away with a second spot. Seems like we're talking to you pretty regularly on the broadcast, whether it's wins or not. So, what's the key to the consistency this year outside of the road courses?
Just try to keep my head down. Save tires. I was saving tires at the beginning of the race, and then that last run there, I was just like, I guess we don't need to save tires anymore, so I just went for it. But yeah, just try to stay out of the wrecks. Try to keep the car clean because these cars, once you get a little damage on them, they don't drive like they should, and just try to keep it clean. That's my biggest thing.
Awesome. Well, I know you got a bunch of people you want to shout out to, so the floor is yours.
Of course, as always, I gotta thank my beautiful wife for letting me do this with everybody. I gotta thank Gil's Dump Truck Service and Pizzeria, the fastest dump trucks in the Northwest. And because Isaiah won tonight, we're offering free dump loads and free pizzas to everybody in the Northwest region of the 406 county. And then also got to give a shout out to all my teammates up in Tupac. I know this isn't a team race, but hey, got to give a shout out there. Also got to give a shout out, a plug to my OnlyFans account. Don't forget it's $10.99 if you subscribe right now. And then also I got to give a shout out to Grandma Hagerman. You're number one.
Can you just clarify how much consists of a dump load?
A dump load is a full, those big dump trucks that are cruising down the road, the big transfer ones.
Yep.
It's a full load right there.
All right.
And if
All
you're
right.
and if you're wondering about his OnlyFans, check out his driver info that we got posted right now. Those are the kind of awesome things you'll see in his OnlyFans. Brian, great run tonight.
That's before the paywall. All right. Thank you, guys. You guys
Later.
have a good one. Later.
All right, Gil. You finally did it. You beat them all. We did it on a little bit of strategy there at the end, pinning Steven Black down on that inside line. I think he might have had something for you had not done that race-winning move.
Yeah, it was definitely a screw him situation. Actually, Canudi gave me the idea, but I think it was for his own benefit of starting on the outside. But I know Canudi can't jump with me on the restart, so I like to go early. He knows that, but still didn't know that, so it worked out in my favor.
IG, your third win of the season, in 4 top tens. It's really checkers or wreckers for you. Had quite a few poles as well. How do you feel as we get here towards the end of the season and heading into the playoffs? Are you the man to beat?
Actually, I don't feel like I'm the man to beat because there was only one short track on the playoff schedule, so it's matter of fact if we get there or not, but probably not.
So if you're not the guy to beat, who is in this Arca Pro Series?
Probably Dustin Dean.
Can't say his name. It's Bustin' Bean.
Oh, Bustin Bean. Sorry.
You're gonna get us pulled, man.
Yeah, you're gonna ruin this whole thing for us.
I didn't say Dustin Dean. Just edit that out.
It's live. I don't know if you knew that.
I don't know.
Bro, this is 2020. This is 2021, bro. We do the streams live.
Yeah. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to winning,
I know it's your first time in here. Joe, go ahead and ask him.
Yeah, you got anybody you want to thank?
I like to thank of course my girlfriend for actually letting me high race because it was a little iffy before. And I like to thank Canudi for being slow once again. And yeah, that's all I like to thank.
When you say your girlfriend, did you just download her tonight or no?
You guys got jokes. You're lucky this is live.
All right, Gil. Congratulations. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
Have a good night, bud.
Well, right. That calls it a night for us from Texas Motor Speedway. We had some wreckers, and then we found ourselves at the checkers with Gil once again. He looking pretty dominant, whether he says so or not.
Yeah, I don't know that it matters so much small track, short track, big track. If it's not a road course, even on road courses, he's pretty affordable, excuse me. And I think if he's not the person to beat, he's definitely going to be a contender as we get into the playoffs. 3 wins speaks for itself so far, as we're only, 8 or 9 races into the season. So
Awesome. Well, congratulations to Isaiah Gill and all the rest of the guys here at iOS. Thank you for watching on Intensity Broadcasting. I'm Joe Wright. I've been joined tonight by David Wright, and as Atman Weiss would always say,